Welcome to episode 10 of the Hullabaloo Music Podcast. And today we're inviting you to grab a brew and join our crew. Welcome to the Hullabaloo Music Podcast. We have been doing this now for nearly a year and we always invite a different guest on. We have today with us Dave Woodcock.
Hello.
Welcome, Dave. This podcast is for anyone who is a fan of music. It's for anyone who is a primary school teacher, but also for any parents who might be interested as well. So, without further ado, Dave, how do we know each other? Now. Are you going right back?
We go well back, don't we?
We do. Yeah, we do.
I didn't actually realise, but we went to the same high school together.
We did.
In the 80s.
Yes,
I think you were a year above me. I was 80 to 85.
I know, I just had that slight edge on you, didn't I?
You can tell from looking at you.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
How rude.
And then we went to the same sixth form as well, I think.
Did you go to Hutton?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Right, yes. Yes, we did. Because we had a bus journey from the White Bull. Yes, we used to catch the same bus, didn't we? That's right, indeed. And then we didn't see each other for years and years and years and years, so how did we reconnect?
We reconnected through Dimensions curriculum, which you introduced into the school I was teaching at.
Yep.
And that's when we realised that we had a bit of a secret past.
We did indeed, yes. We realised who we were.
Yes.
Yes. So you were at Waterloo Primary in Blackpool, not the one that's on the telly.
No,
a different one. And you were deputy head there. How long had you been at the school? Because you just retired.
I've been at the school 29 years.
29 years.
I was deputy there for 12 years.
I think that deserves a round of applause. So, and your highlights from school, what do you miss the most now that you've retired?
Somebody asked me that just before, actually. I miss the team that we were in. It was quite a challenging area, quite a deprived area with a lot of social difficulties. It was quite a hard place to work in, but it made the team really, really close.
Right, yeah.
And I missed being part of that team.
Right, yeah.
I think you laugh through some of the struggles that you have as well.
Of course you do,
There's a lot of laughter in the school and we made some really, really close friendships.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm still in touch with people now, but I miss being part of that team.
Yeah, it's the camaraderie and that, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, in terms of music and the school, so you had some involvement, didn't you, with music in school? Tell us what I don't know if it's still going on there, but you were involved in the Rocks school side of it, weren't you?
Yeah, my youngest son, who's 16 now, is in a music studio thing called Upbeat in Poulton, and it's been amazing for him, and he's come absolute leaps and bounds. He's in a band now, a metal band called Perilla.
Oh, great!
They do a lot of gigs around sort of the Blackpool area.
Oh, right, yeah.
I just thought it would be really good for Waterloo children to experience that. So they're experiencing sort of the traditional primary music curriculum, maybe with some xylophones or glockenspiels or percussion and things. But I said I want them to have electric guitars and drum kits and basses and things and form bands. Yeah. So I arranged for Upbeat to come into school. Yeah. And they came in for a whole day and they worked with electronic music for a year group on GarageBand and things like that. But then they did band sessions and then we had an extracurricular banding session as well, and it was great.
Right.
So we're so enthused.
Brilliant.
And the teachers were really skilled, so within a couple of lessons they're playing what's recognisable like a rock song, and they're just like, oh my goodness, we did that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so I said to Jenna, who's our head at Waterloo, I said, part of my legacy is this needs to carry on, because I think, no disrespect to the music lessons they were getting, they were having corner lessons.
Yeah.
And I said, well, yeah, there's a place for that in my view, but you're not going to set a 9-year-old child's heart racing in the corner. But if you give them some drumsticks and an electric guitar, that's where you're going to get the passion from. So I said, they can run side by side.
Of course,
so that's what we're doing at the moment.
Absolutely. Great. And you've got your guitar here today.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about your own musical experience. So how long have you played the guitar for? Have you played other instruments or?
When I was a child, I got grade 3 violin.
Oh really?
I was still like playing violin.
Was that at high school? Or primary?
No, that was high school.
That was high school.
In primary, I started playing guitar. It was Spanish guitar. I wasn't very good.
Okay.
And I didn't really practice, so I didn't get much better.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I took up violin, and I was at high school.
Yeah.
I did that for a few years, and I only picked up a guitar again, probably about 10 years ago. But I'm still not great.
Okay.
It's something that I see as it's therapeutic.
Yes. Okay.
It's not something that I'm very, very good at.
No, it's not for performance.
It's just for me. I just like to.
Yeah, you just like to have a bit of a play.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a bit of a play because we've got the keyboard over here as well, and so we're just going to have a little bit of a jam session now, if that's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we have a go?
Yeah, can do.
Why not? Why not? There. I mean, we could just go down the chords, E minor, D major, B major. So, what kind of music tickles your ears, Dave?
It's probably music you won't be particularly comfortable with. I like metal more than anything else.
I like metal. Yeah. Well, it's all sorts.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I like
Favourite bands.
early Metallica, Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
They're my two. If somebody said what's your favourite band, it changes, but it's always between those two.
Okay.
But I like a lot of the early 80s thrash scene. So I like
And
Metallica. And
is that when you first heard it when you were young? Is that
Yeah.
what got you into it? You've not come to it late. It's kind of.
No, in the early 80s I heard it. I mean, I think the first band that made me go wow was Motorhead.
Oh, okay.
Just because of the distinctive sound, and it's a real dirty, aggressive sound.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And then Metallica's first album came out, and I'd heard nothing like it. It was so fast and energetic and aggressive playing.
Yeah.
It just sort of spoke to me a bit.
Yeah.
So I like all the early sort of thrash metal bands like Exodus and
Okay. Oh gosh, I haven't heard that name for years.
Yeah,
Exodus. Yeah.
Slayer and
Yeah.
Anthrax and
Right. Okay.
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I think the closest I've probably got to that is Bon Jovi and Aerosmith.
I've seen Bon Jovi.
Like
They're
that.
very good live.
Yeah, were they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I went with some old uni friends to see Pantera a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
and
okay.
they were really good.
Were they? Yeah.
Yeah, in Leeds.
Right. Yeah, interesting. We've got a bit of a theme for this podcast. We're going to try a little bit of a themed podcast in the sense of having a bit of a topic to discuss. So we've dropped a few of the regular features to make a bit of space, and we're going to talk about music and AI today.
Okay.
You can't escape. You can't get away from AI these days. It's kind of, although it's been around for a long time now, I think it's really just become mainstream, hasn't it? Do you use AI at all yourself?
I don't really know.
No.
My boys touch on it.
Do they?
But they don't use it for anything useful. They just use it to mess around. So.
Right. Yeah. Just to play.
Yeah.
To play. Because it is becoming a bit of a problem, I think, isn't it? In, for example, universities and places like that, in terms of the work that students are doing. I think they've kind of had to bring in systems for
software to recognise it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's going on a very interesting path. And what I'm particularly interested in is, because of Hullabaloo and our music, we have a tool in there which is a lyrics writer. It's an AI-powered lyrics writer. Because I think, there's no point kind of shunning these things or running away from them. You need to be embracing them, and they are incredibly useful as well, some of these tools. So our lyrics writer has been really popular. But what I'm particularly interested in is the idea of AI generating new music. What are your thoughts around that kind of copyright issue? Because obviously it trolls, as far as I know, it trolls the internet, and it kind of is able to sort of build a bank of sort of knowledge about music. And do you feel that there is going to be an issue there in terms of performers and composers and what are your thoughts?
I think there's already a bit of an issue, isn't there? I think there are some potential lawsuits from recording artists and saying that AI has stolen my music.
Yeah.
And I sort of get that, but people have been stealing people's musical ideas forever, and there's nothing original really nowadays.
Yeah.
And I suppose if you're stealing a little tiny bit of that and a little tiny bit of that, and then creating something new, I don't think it's a massive problem. If it's a definite, that sounds just like this artist who's worked really hard and to get that music, then I think that's an issue. But I mean, people, if you take the AI bit out of it, that's what people do. They're inspired by. I love the Beatles the way they do that. I love this band. I love this band. So I'm going to pinch that and create something different. That's what music's about, isn't it? Yeah,
and the evolution of music. You've got all the different genres and styles that have come from previous ones, and kind of. There is always that standing on the shoulders of others to see further kind of approach. I think what's quite interesting is, there's a whole host of software applications out there now, for music and AI. One or two, I will mention one or two in case people want to look them up, because we will have some primary school, perhaps music leaders who are interested in this. So there's one called Duke Deck, which has specifically been developed to generate original royalty-free music for use in videos. And this kind of technology was used by Coca-Cola, for example. They use Duke Deck, and Google, in fact, they've also used it. Google, of course, have developed their own AI, something called Magenta. But there's one in particular that I've used, which is called Sonu, as in SONU. So I thought what we were going to do, what would be really interesting, is we could get Sonu to write us a song. Okay, so we're going to put it to the test. So everyone can see it in action as well. And Sonu, Oh no, it's not Suno, it's Suno.
LOL, laughing out loud.
I've just done the old way around. Suno. Right, I'll say it all again. S-U-N-O.
Like a Suno wrestler.
Like Suno, yeah, like sumo, but with an N. Right, okay. So, what you then do is you tap in your own particular. So you can do. We'll do two. There's one that's just like a quick one where you just put in. So there's an example here: a heavy metal song about dinosaurs.
Okay.
Right. I put one in just to test it out. A song about old ladies wearing hats, and he came up with
from
this.
personal experience.
No, just and I said I'd make it like a very lyrical song, and so they called it Feathered Crowns, and it was it was a very flowery piece that came out. Anyway, so what do we fancy, Dave? What style? Do you want heavy metal? Soon as that's your bag.
Yeah.
Right, so a heavy metal song about
Kangaroos
eating bananas. I'll add the eating bananas bit. Everyone knows I love a banana. Okay, so then we've just put that in, and then what we do is we press create, and then we see what happens.
5 minutes later.
Oh, okay, right, well that's thrown that one. Your song description has been flagged for moderation. Okay.
Maybe it's your bananas.
Maybe it's the bananas that's done it, yeah. Right, well let's try again. Let's try a heavy metal song about kangaroos. Shall we leave the bananas off in case they're triggering something?
2 hours later.
It kind of is opening the world to complete non-musicians, isn't it, to create music. As a musician myself, I am not quite sure what I think about it. Song's ready, tap to play.
Okay.
Alright, we're ready for this. We could do with a drum roll here now. Right.
Drum roll!
It's definitely heavy metal.
Don't quite like it.
Right, so the kangaroos coming. Oh, there we have it. It's called Marsupial Mayhem.
Lovely.
Honestly.
I'm loving that.
Okay, so that's an example of what Suno can do. So we're going to try one more. We'll do something completely different, shall we? Let's go for a completely different genre. What do you fancy?
Something classical and see how it
Classical.
That's fancy. That's fancy.
Classical.
5 minutes later.
How about opera?
Kangaroos.
Kangaroos again? Are we on the kangaroo theme? Now let's do poodles. Right, an opera aria about poodles. Let's see if it can actually, because that's very, very specific actually, isn't it?
The poodles into swine.
Oh! We can get a picture, look.
I think that's an X-rated poodle song.
Looks like something from Phantom of the Opera. With
Very
the bark.
clever, isn't it?
Yeah, that is quite incredible. That's where we're at, and that's kind of like the bottom level version. There's a version 4, which apparently is even better, which you can try for free. So that's Suno. It's one of many. Don't just think that's the only one. How do you think that might be used in schools, Dave? Can you see a place for it, or is it going to de-skill everybody?
Yeah, there's always the danger of that, isn't there? And I'm a bit uncomfortable about it, to be fair, because you're taking the human element out of it, and there's no creativity there. It's just come up with a random idea, press play in it, and it does it for you. Yeah. I think if you're using it for sort of an impetus or like a springboard into something of your own, if you've got a mental block or something, so I can do that, and that gives you an idea to then take away and work on.
As a catalyst rather than a finished product.
Yeah, as like a resource to help you.
Yeah.
But I don't see there's no thought or creativity or anything in that, is there, apart from giving it a title and pressing go? Exactly,
and the problem is that people are taking ownership then, so that we could take ownership of that poodle aria there, and we could monetize it, because that's what people are doing. They're monetizing something that they haven't created at all, have they? And I think that does bring up this whole host of kind of issues, and you've also got the deep fake music stuff that's coming out as well, haven't you? Because that's been an issue. Apparently in 2023, an artist known as Ghostwriter977 created a musical deepfake called Heart on My Sleeve, and it cloned the voices of Drake and The Weeknd by inputting an assortment of vocal-only tracks into a deep learning algorithm, and it created this track that actually sounded like them. So
it's fascinating. I watched it just before I came here. There was something on the TV, and it was Donny Osmond, who had used AI, or the people around him had used AI, so that he can talk to and sing with the 14-year-old Donny Osmond. Oh. So he's like in his 60s now, and then he's got next to him, he's having a chat with the 14-year-old version of him, and apparently they put it onto the stage, so they're doing duets and things.
Oh my goodness, mate.
And it's all AI, like an avatar.
Yeah, incredible.
And it was, I mean, I'm not a big Donny Osmond fan, but it was startlingly good.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you were moving away from music a little bit, it's worrying, because you can see it going on social media now. These things that just aren't real, but are convincing people that they are, and that's a proper slippery slope for fraudsters and scammers.
Oh, 100%, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I think we're still at the stage. I do it with photos, because I'm into my photography, and you'll see a photo, and at the moment you can pretty much recognise when it's AI or when it's not real, but then you get kind of hundreds of comments, because it's quite a remarkable photo, clearly one that you wouldn't actually really be able to take very easily, and people comment, and then you get the person, you know, and I don't comment, because I don't think, I don't know, you get all your smart Alex who want to go, this is AI, I know it's AI, you know, that kind of thing. So I never comment, but you know, then you will get someone who goes, this is AI, why are you all saying how amazing? Because actually no one has taken this photo at all. So but it is, we will get to the point, I think, where we can't tell the difference.
Is it just a step up from Photoshop though? Because people have been using that for years, haven't they?
That's a question, yeah.
And that seems sort of socially acceptable, Photoshop, just give it a bit of a tweak.
Yeah, so maybe the lines are just a bit blurred there, aren't they, I think. Anyway, so that's our little AI slot. I think it's a really fascinating, frightening, interesting field. Do we feel enriched by our kangaroo and poodle music?
I quite like the kangaroo one.
The kangaroo one. You want me to forward you that one? Yeah, I'll send that through. Yeah, okay. We'll stick it on. We'll stick a bit more of it on the end of the podcast, shall we, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more of that one. Okay, so now we are going to have our Hullakazoo karaoke slot. Okay, so Dave, you've got a kazoo. Oh, there you go. So what we're going to do is you have been given a list of we went for 80s because we've already talked about the 80s. We were at school in the 80s. So you've got a list of 80s hits and you're going to play, you're going to choose a couple to play for me to guess and see if I can get them. Alright, so have you got the first one? Do you know what you're going to do?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
Ready?
Yeah, okay, right. Oh, that's just giving it away.
The last few notes give it
That
away.
gave it away. I thought I was going to have to go, Dave. I've no idea. But now I know it's the Bangles.
It is.
Walk Like an Egyptian.
It is.
Brilliant. Great rendition. I'm so glad you know how to play kazoo as well. Because we have so many people, don't we, who come on, Paul, and they haven't got a clue.
Try and blow into
They
it.
blow it. They just blow. And they keep blowing and nothing happens and they wonder why. And we have to say, hum. So that's great. It's like having a pro in. Right. Next one.
Okay, so you struggled a little bit with that, so let's do a nice easy one.
Yeah, okay, go on. It's the final countdown.
It is indeed.
Yay!
Well done.
Well
You
done.
redeemed yourself.
Yay! Excellent. Brilliant. Okay. Well, I think that was really, probably the most successful Hullakazoo karaoke we've had.
Okay.
So, well done, Dave. Excellent. Good job there. Now, we always have some, we call them questions. They are questions that we ask every guest. 3 questions that we've given you in advance to have a little think about, albeit not very far in advance for yourself. I do apologise. So let's start with the first one then. So if you had to eat one food or one dish daily for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I'm a bit of a spicy food addict.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I think if it was just one meal, it would have to be a nice hot curry.
Really?
Yeah.
Hot curry?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could do that every day?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, no problems. Yeah, okay. What would you have on the side with it? Would you have anything else? Do you like?
I would have mushroom rice
Right.
and poppadoms
Oh, yeah.
and maybe some onion bhajis.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay, so that's your
Yeah, that's my one meal.
one meal every day. A nice curry, hot curry. Okay. Next question. If you could take a trip anywhere, where would you go and why?
Ooh.
Bit more tricky, this one.
Yeah, I think I quite fancy. I've never been. I quite fancy New Zealand.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah.
I just think apparently it's so beautiful.
Right.
And the lifestyle's really good over there. And I've had a friend who toured Australia and New Zealand for a few years when he was young.
Right.
And he said, everyone goes on about Australia. I said, Australia's good, but New Zealand, he said, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it would be something we'd have to do, all winter
Right. Yes.
to go across there. So maybe when my lovely wife retires, we can
Okay.
we can go to New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Visit, yeah.
Lovely. Oh, excellent. Okay, sounds like a plan.
Mm.
And the last question: if you could meet any musician or composer, dead or alive, who would you choose and why?
I think this is quite easy. I would choose Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne.
This is such an amazing character.
Right.
Who's had about 50 lives in one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think people get a real distorted view of him because they see him as a bumbling idiot, and he's really quite sharp.
Yeah.
Because his speech is a little bit muffled and
Okay. Right.
he's really funny, and I've read his autobiography, and it's not an autobiography that's been sort of ghost written.
Yeah.
You can tell from his phraseology and that
Okay.
he's written this book, and it's one of the funniest stories I've ever,
Really?
funniest books I've ever read.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I just think he's a bit of a genius.
Right. Yeah.
And,
Misunderstood.
100 stories to tell. And,
Yeah.
And there's still the reason he's still alive is beyond me. I have no idea.
Right, he shouldn't be on paper. He shouldn't be.
He's
Right.
properly brings excess to a new level.
Definitely right. Okay.
But yeah, I find him fascinating, but I find him really funny as well. Right. So I think he would just be really, really good to speak to.
Phil. Excellent. Okay. So Ozzy Osbourne is Curry, New Zealand. Ozzy Osbourne.
Then AI song on that.
And the AI song, yeah.
Let's make an AI song about those.
Yeah, we could actually, couldn't we? That's a thought. I was just thinking when I was reading a question about if you could meet any musician or composer. You see, like, does that if you know we've got a song now about the heavy metal kangaroo song. Are we the composer? We're not, are we really? No. So that isn't composition.
No. Well, it's composition, but it's not ours.
No. And it's the ownership side that I think I have a little bit of an issue with. Anyway, I don't want to go back to the AI, but we hope you've enjoyed the focus on AI today, AIandMusic. Maybe it's got you thinking. Maybe you want to try out the Suno app or a different music app. There's loads out there. Dave, thank you ever so much.
That's okay.
Yeah, you've been a real guest. You've been a great guest, and we're really grateful to you for being on. So the podcast is out on the 19th. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Lovely, thank you for having me.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.
Drum roll!
It's definitely heavy metal.
I quite like it.
Right, so the kangaroos coming. Ouch. There we have it.
Loud noises!